Hey everybody, this is Mark, coming to you here from snowy northern Wisconsin, and it was about 45 degrees here, so spring may be around the corner, although it usually fools us, so we just learned to deal with that. So anyway, been a long time since I've been on here doing anything, and thought I would sort of do a little bit longer video as a result. And you know, I was doing riff of the day, and I think I'm going to do something close to that, similar, but I want to focus on one thing, and that one thing being bends. It's one of my pet peeves. Bar chords and bends would be two of the things that that I pay attention to with players, and have my opinions on. So anyway, I believe there's really two things about bends, and this is really the critical thing. First thing is that in most instances, and there are exceptions to that, and I'll show you some exceptions, but generally, a bend really needs to be moving from one place to another. It is very, very rare when you would bend a note when there wouldn't be any purpose. So in other words, starting, let's say as an example, I'm starting on a note here, on the actually what would be in this case the sixth. So what I really did is I bent it up a half step. I could play that flatted seventh that way too, that's fine. So, or I can add some other things into that, and it just is a different sound if I am able to bring it up to that flatted seventh and get that note, than just hitting it. It's just a different sound. Other things, the other that I would definitely be doing, bending up to. So as an example, where I'm bending up to meet that root, I'm going to take that flatted seventh and I'm going to bend it up. So I'm going to actually bend it up to that root note. Or I could do that, where I would slide up and catch it in another spot. Different ways that you can approach that. So that's just some things, and I'll do some other examples of that. The other thing that you bend for is if you have a bend that is actually included in a lick. So in other words, so those are examples where and it sometimes there is kind of a cool tension feel if you're slightly missing it, especially if you're playing blues and things like that. And that could be, that for me is sometimes intentional, where instead of going all the way up to that note, or I may get there just in a shorter amount of time. So those are all some things. I'm also, you know, so you will see me do that a lot if you watch me play, in both instances. I like tension, I like all those little things, but I like really this idea of being accurate in your bends. So other things, bends are cool to sort of emulate other things. I use some little okay, there's a little country lick there out of an A major, in that D form of an A major. It's actually a A major pentatonic. So we're here, what I'm doing there. So I'm actually bending up to sort of get that and actually matching that note. So those are just some things, some stuff to work on. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to how you bend. I did say, so lastly, I did say that that I often will bend. There are players, and sometimes I do this, where I'm not necessarily doing that, where I may be over-bending something. An example might be something like this. So I actually went over that note a little bit. Just sort of get a little bit more attention. There's a lot of blues players out there in particular that do that very often in terms of their playing. It's kind of a regular thing. And there's other ways that you can pull that in. So anyway, that's what I got. Just want to do a quick video on that. I will add some more things soon. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody.